There we are, got something. It's like a nice trout. Oh no, he just, oh no, he just got it. Golly. In many cases, there's gonna be more fish. Oh, yep, like that. Nice. Hey, this is Luke with Salt Strong, doing some exploration fishing today. Artificial only, 3 rods, 3 lures. I'll explain the situations where I'm gonna be using these lures, but we're coming out of just a calm day. This is gonna be some tough fishing. We have no wind at all, just a little bit of cloud cover, not much. So these fish are gonna be very spooky. And so for that reason, I have my light setup. This is my new setup I got it for trout. This is a 1,000 size reel with 5-pound braid, 15-pound leader, and in this case, the Alabama Leprechaun on a weighted hook. This is probably gonna be what catches the most fish because it doesn't make much racket in the water. It's not gonna be spooking the fish, and it has great action to elicit strikes from fish that are not very aggressive, which is probably gonna be the case today. For fishing docks, you know, dock fishing is great on calm days like this. I brought this setup. This is another 7/6 rod. We have a 2,500 size reel in this case. It's the BGMQ. And then we have the little Power Prawn Junior on a jig head, tough to beat for dock fishing. And then kind of the all-purpose, just the old Slam Shady 2.0 on a 1/4 ounce jig head. This is gonna be what we control with. If the water is murky, this is gonna be what I go with. And so again, with these three setups, pretty much ready for whatever we see out there. I'm expecting the water to be clear. I know it's gonna be calm, so I'll probably be using these 2 setups, but just in case, this one's ready to go. So anyhow, we'll start going. I'm gonna show you what happens and explain to you what worked and what didn't work, and hopefully we can catch some redfish, sea trout, snook, and or flounder. We'll see how it goes. All right, so my motor was sounding a little bit weird, so I was stopping to check it out and make sure everything's cool, and then when I looked up on the shoreline, I saw some birds. There's some egrets over here. There's like 4 or 5 birds working the shoreline, so I thought, okay, maybe this is just a sign that I need to stop before my actual spot. So I'm gonna check out these docks, give this motor a little bit of time to rest, and then we're gonna start throwing some power prawns under the docks. Of course, as always, throw a little Dr. Juice on there, and let's see if we can get ourselves started with some fish here in the morning hours. The fact that we have these birds here, it makes me pretty confident, even though I've never fished these docks on the map. They really don't look all that cool. But the birds are here, so it's worth a shot. All right, so heading up this dock, we're going on the down current side of it, and so that way I can cast up underneath these pilings and work the lure with the current. That's gonna increase the odds of the most fish. So I'm starting with the deep side. The fact that it's cold out, the fish are likely gonna be holding on the deep section, but I'll just work my way in and I'll really fish the entire thing just to see where the fish are. Sometimes they're deep, sometimes they're shallow. Wintertime, again, morning should be deep, but sometimes they'll surprise us. And whatever's down there will eat a little shrimp lure like this. So this is a very good way to go out there and get some strikes even when the conditions aren't really good. Like these are literally my least favorite conditions for fishing inshore. So we have like no wind at all, hardly any cloud cover, and clear water. So these fish have a really big advantage. But at least under these docks, they're around a bunch of structures, so they feel safe, and they're more likely to make some bad decisions on eating something plastic. There we are, got something. It's like a nice trout. Yeah, solid trout. So I heard a dolphin back there too, so I need to be careful with that dolphin. All right, we are on the board. Yeah, the dolphin's coming up to the boat too. It's unfortunate people feed these things, and that will not be us. Solid trout there, cool looking fish. Get the pliers out to get this guy off. That dolphin is sitting there waiting. Quick hook out. And then we're gonna take this fish way up in the shallows. I'm kind of wrecking it for catching more fish, but I really don't want that dolphin to get a free meal on my behalf. So I'm gonna go way up here shallow. Oh, I just saw, oh man, some sheep's head spooking out. Oh, nice redfish too. Oh well. There we go, just let him go. Just spooked up a bunch of fish when I did so, but it was worth it. I really, yes, that dolphin's, look at that dolphin right there. He's just right on the edge of the dock, just waiting on me to release stuff. Oh my gosh, there's a giant sheep's head down there. We just found ourselves a good spot. Oh no, he just, hopefully, oh no, he just got it. Golly. All right, we're gonna pick up a move. That's unfortunate. He's sitting there throwing the trout. At least it looks like the trout. Those dolphins, they're just so fast. Even when you try to save the fish, it just got taken. Look at that. That's unfortunate. Man, stinking dolphin. So that's what happens when people feed dolphin. They get trained to be around boats, and they do that even when you take as much precaution as you can. Man, I'm sorry that happened, but also it is just fact of nature too. So we're gonna pick up, go to a new spot. Pretty much blew this out, and this dolphin probably won't leave us alone for a while. So we'll pick up when we go to our official spot number 1. All right, so we made it to the spot that I checked on the online map. It's the shoreline I never fished before. Based on the weather and what's been going on, this should be good, and I'm happy with what I'm seeing so far. So we have some nice docks with a good amount of barnacles on there. If you look beyond, we can see a lot of egrets up there ahead along the shoreline. So there's gonna be some food here, and no dolphins, extra bonus. So no dolphins like that prior spot. And so let's see if we can get some fish out of these docks. Still sticking with the Power Prawn Junior. This is really good for fishing docks like this. And we're just gonna hit these docks, the deep side first, and we'll go up shallow and just see where these fish are holding. And the best way to fish is just like that, where I cast it underneath the entire dock, and now I'm working it through the pilings as if it was a shrimp naturally just going through the kill zone right underneath the dock. That's where most of the predators are gonna be holding, right next to those pilings. All right, got something on, not sure what it is. Oh, looks like a jack. Yep, never know what you're gonna get under these docks. We actually had another dolphin wrecking house, but it's pretty far away, so we'll let that guy go. See if we can get something else on this one. Lots of shade under this dock. And I just got to cast up near the pilings. Whoa, there's that dolphin. So we are just getting tormented by dolphin here today. So the fact that that thing is up here making that racket, I mean, if there are fish, I'm sure there were more fish underneath here. The odds of them actually eating right now is very small. This is, they're gonna be very scared, as they should be, and actually don't want to catch one now. This dolphin stalking us. So we're just gonna buzz down, see if we can lose this dolphin, and we might have to bail off and go to spot number 3. Nothing big here, but something. A little snug. So we're gonna get away from that dock. Hopefully there's more. Those dolphin are finally away from us. All right, and we have ourselves a fun-sized little snook there. A little fella. Let him go. We're still good. All right, so going back up to this dock, and when you get a fish, doesn't really matter what it is. A lot of times there's others with it. So go back and just literally cast at the same spot. You know, they actually feel comfortable around these docks, and so that's in between those 2 pilings is where I had the first one. And I'm just gonna do just the same retrieve, right? Get it up in there, and just do a nice little, slow little tap right through those pilings. In many cases, there'll be more in there with it, especially when they're those little smaller size like that. And you can go and just catch more fish. Looks like I just got through the dock and no luck, so since we're here, we might as well get some more casts under these other pilings. Oh, there we are. Oh, there's a bigger fish. Uh-oh. Oh no, I guess not a bigger fish, but it felt big. Felt big at first. Looks like we got another snook. A little bit bigger than the other one, but still a small little guy. This just sure is a lot of fun. You really have the first 5 seconds is gonna make or break the catch there. So again, as soon as I get the fish under control, I'm moving myself out to not spook the fish. And see if we can even get another one under there. A lot of these docks, when they just have some structure of some sort, it'll attract more fish than the others. So this is, whoa. See there. So again, Not a giant one, but a fun size snook there. Get the power prawn out of his mouth. And back in action. Been fortunate, the line is still not frayed, so we can try it again. All right, so just as we said before, right, go right back up to where, oh, I just bounced off the pylon. Go right back up in there and get another cast. In many cases, there's gonna be more fish. Oh, yep, like that. Nice, right under the same exact pylon as the prior one. All right, now we're gonna do the same setup where we just kind of bump out. And a lot of times these snook are more aggressive and there could be some redfish down the bottom too, so we're just gonna do a couple more casts in there and really would like to finish up on a quick slam if possible. All we need is the redfish now. All right, there we are. Yeah, not a giant, but they sure are fun. If you come to Florida and you really want to catch a snook, targeting docks like this with jigs is a great way to do it. These little power prawns just absolutely just terrorize them. And so let's see if we can get 4 fish under one dock. Skipped up underneath there, right under the boat. Oh, yep. Oh, now I'm on structure. Bummer. All right, so I started fishing down the rest of this dock, and as expected, there's some structure down there. The fact that all these fish were on this one dock, so now I'm stuck on some structure. So there's 2 things to do when you get to this point. And so number 1, obviously we want to try to get our lure off. To pull it is one thing, but it's whatever it is hard. I'm not on the piling, I'm on something like in between the pilings. So some sort of rock or something down there. So assuming it's hard structure, like if you're on a rock or anything, in many cases you can use the slingshot method, which basically you pull the line out like a slingshot, just get a lot of tension and then let off. And what that does is that'll just have that mono, your leader will basically expand, and then as soon as you let go, it'll shoot back and sometimes knock the hook off of the obstruction. So there, I just tried it again, nothing, and that's clearly not working. So now I've had a question, oh, okay, like some people actually cut the line here. Do not cut your line. Do not cut your line, you just pull it. The knot is almost always gonna be the weakest point. And so what I do is I'll get the trolling motor going away from the dock. And then I'm gonna point the rod directly to the obstruction, right? And so now, right now the drag is going out. And so I just don't let the drag go out and pull. There it is. It broke off, simple as that. And what will likely happen is I'll get my leader back, I'll get everything but my lure. And so as I'm reeling it in, I can see my leader. And there it is. So now I have my main line, I have my leader, and now all I have to do is just retie the very end and I can be back to fishing really fast. Just make sure to not cut your line. Just hold the spool. It'll break, the weakest point of the line will break, and that'll almost be the knot. And if you do it properly, if you do your leaders properly, the very end loop knot is gonna be the weakest point by just a slight margin, and that's gonna help make sure that you get your leaders back. All right, so I promised myself just one more dock, and this is official, so we're gonna do one more dock. And what's gonna happen is now that the sun is up, those fish should start showing up onto some flats. And so there's an island up the way that I've never fished before. It looked really good on the map. It had some nice looking grass and even an oyster bar. And oh, maybe we have to do one more dock after this. But no, it's just another snook. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna go pick up and we're gonna go to that island and see if we can sight fish a redfish. That is my favorite way to fish. There is a little bit of cloud cover, which is a surprise, but we're gonna go out there anyhow and see if we can finish up the slam with a nice sight fish, redfish action after we get this snook off. So this one's a little bit bigger, still not a giant, but we'll take it. This just sure is a lot of fun. So they are lethargic. All these strikes have been pretty non-aggressive. Whoa, come on there, buddy. So it's really been about just getting this power prawn just right down there. Whoa, just right down there, right in their face. So again, not a giant one, but they sure are a lot of fun. So let's let this guy go, let him go back to his little dock there. And we might have to do one more cast just for good measure. Just in case there's some more. So a small little dock there. This is one of the smallest ones that we fished. And it happened to have the biggest snook. Who would have thought? But yeah, there's just, this shoreline is just nice. There's some grass along here. There's a lot of birds working in, a good amount of bait. But just haven't seen a redfish yet. And all the snook have been small. So we're gonna now, after that last official cast, pick up and go find some redfish. But we have some nice bottom where it's kind of sand and grass right up along the shoreline. So confidence is getting up for being able to lock in a slam. So I'm just gonna blind cast. It's hard to see these fish. It's got a little bit too much glare right now. But I'm now just fishing the white spots. Those reds will usually be hunkered down right in those white areas, just waiting on some shrimp or mullet, something to go right over their head. All right, big redfish right here. Let's see if we can get him to eat. If he eats, this is gonna be awesome. Doesn't know we're here. It's starting to look at it. Oh, it doesn't see it. It felt something. Get another cast up in there. It's literally like 10 feet away. I don't think it has any idea we're here. Eat it. Oh no, it just spooked off. Oh man, you can see that wake right there. That was a big redfish. Oh man, my heart is racing right there. Yeah, the clouds were out and so I couldn't see, and all of a sudden the sun came out and that redfish was sitting right there. Oh, there's 3 of them right in front of me. Oh my gosh. Oh no, they just spooked. Well, we found the fish. They're right where they're supposed to be. Oh my gosh, look at this red right here. If this thing eats, oh, look at there's fish all around us right now. Oh man, what a heartbreaker. Sometimes when one spooks, they'll all spook out too. So that's another one, just another spooked. Oh my gosh. Well, the finding the fish part was spot on. This is exactly where the game plan strategy that we did over this past week, they're exactly where they're supposed to be, which is really cool. I've totally fumbled on an amazing sight fishing shot. So we're just literally gonna sit here, not move the trolling motor, and hope that there's some more that we haven't spooked up yet. Whew, that was cool. As frustrating as that was, that's just always thrilling to see. And the one that I had a shot at, that was like a 30 to 32 inch fish. It was a really nice fish. Oh, my legs are shaking. All right, well, we fished that little cove part of the island. That's where the fish are most likely to be, and there's a boat right around the other corner of it. But yeah, we have to leave the tail between my legs. I had some really cool opportunities for reds, so I have one more spot before we have to go in that we're trying to get some reds, and so we're gonna pick up, move, and hopefully we can get that redfish on the board. So we've got something up here in this spot. Looks like another small snook. I think it's dark too. The color on this thing, it must have been hiding down in some of these weeds. Look how dark that snook is. Really dark top to him. I switched over to the Slam Shady 2.0. This water's a little bit murked up. Saw a couple redfish spook out, and I was hoping, when I felt that thump, I was hoping that was a red, but can't complain with some snook. We just can't get away from these little small snook today. Fishing down this edge of the shoreline. Nice oysters and stuff down here. It looks great. Ooh. Little fella, they're getting smaller. And even those small ones, still feel that line. Make sure there's no, yep, good to go. Let's get ourselves the red. All right, so I'm actually going back. This is a last ditch effort to get our redfish. I'm going back to the spot where we saw all those reds earlier. I had one hit, and I just kind of motoring up there and casting around and got this little jack. But what I'm gonna do, as soon as we get up closer to the zone where we saw those reds before, I'm gonna go super slow. I switched over to the Slam Shady 2.0. let that guy go. So I switched over to Slingshot 2.0, and this has bailed me out of a lot of predicaments. So I'm banking on this lure to get one of these redfish to eat. And I'll be doing long casts, and just see if we can get one of these redfish to smack it. I know they're here. I know at least one of them was dumb enough to eat earlier, so we have a chance. Hopefully nobody's fished it between then and now. It's been about an hour. All right, so I see 3 reds. They're looking right at me. They're probably, I don't know, probably 30, 40 feet out. Let's see if I can buzz right along the side of them and have one come out and eat. They're all nice ones. Oh man, they are so spooky. So I've got a 5-pound line, and they totally could feel my line, and they're swimming the opposite way right now. Okay, there's one. See that big swirl right there? All right, I see that one. Oh man, I just spooked another one right there. Dang. So they're up here in this super calm water, sunning themselves, and they are just super finicky. I think they might be winning today, because I came in here as quiet as I possibly could have, just slow moving. They were right where they were supposed to be. I saw them early. Still felt the line, even 5-pound line. Crazy. Let's see if I can land it up there without spooking them. All right, nice. Okay, that actually might do it. If I'm gonna get them, it's gonna be this cast. Oh my gosh, they're already turning away. They're turning away. Oh, one's coming out to look. Eat it. Oh, he looked right at it. Yeah, they are so spooky. And so now I can see them. There's probably 6 of them right here. See if we can get a... Ooh, I'm gonna go right over them. And there, they spooked. Golly, these things are finicky. Those are some big fish. All right, one of them didn't spook off. Let's see if we can get them. It's a red. I'm gonna be about 5 feet in front of him. I'm going super slow. Oh, he looked at it and just totally turned. Whew. These fish are very finicky today. This must be a popular spot that he gets fished hard, because normally some of these casts would have had pay dirt. So I'm gonna go right in front of him. Nope, totally spooked off. There's even another one looking at it. This is a small snook. Give him a little twitches. Yeah, he knows something's up. Whew, man, this is tough. We at least found the fish. That's 95% of the battle most of the time. But these are just so finicky, I think we might have to come back empty-handed for redfish, but it's still a fun trip. Dang, there's another one right there, cruising. Or I led him by like 10 feet. Eat it. Yeah, just the slightest movement. This is with 5-pound braid and then 15-pound line. They can feel it, and they're gone. That is some finicky fish right there. But we gave it a good try. And so for you Untitled Club members, I'll be putting a link down below to the post-trip analysis, where you can see exactly where all the action was, and most importantly, though, why the spots were chosen. So although I didn't get the slam, we at least got ourselves in position to catch the slam. We got in to some trout, saw a bunch of snook, and saw a whole lot of redfish. If just caught one of those redfish, and that would have totally been an awesome trip. But that didn't happen. But I'll put a link down below for the post-trip analysis, where you can see exactly what happened, what worked, what didn't work, and just see the strategies on why every spot was selected. And if you're not an Untitled Club member, highly recommend giving it a shot. This is our fishing club. It's an online fishing club. We actually guarantee you'll be finding more fish every trip. That's really what we focus on just finding the fish. Going out, whether you're exploring a new area or fishing your home waters, just going out and just finding fish based on science, based on how a fish's biology reacts to the changing weather. Like today was a very tough day in the wintertime. We're in January, very low winds, which I don't like. But even still, exploring in new areas, all these spots that I caught fish I've never been to before. But it was really about just putting together the right formula, and that's what we focus on in the Untitled Club. So if you want to get our weekly game plans on exactly where the feeding fish are most likely going to be, just give it a shot, right? It just takes 10 minutes a week. That way you can just know exactly where the fish are and just maximize your time in the water. And if you're totally new to Salt Strong, just know that we're the best online fishing club for inshore saltwater anglers. We actually guarantee you'll be finding more fish, you'll be saving money on your tackle, and you'll be meeting a ton of new fishing friends. To learn more, go to saltstrong.com. Otherwise, hope to see you again soon.